Hey guys, what's up? Mike here. Thanks for tuning in to this video. In this video, I want to explain all the various titles that falls under UX design, explain the difference between them, and try to clarify this for you in the most simplest way possible. All right. Before I do that, you just have to get some context on how this all came about. I actually just saw a question on LinkedIn. A designer asked the question, what's the difference between a UX designer and a product designer? And the question had a lot of likes on it. Somebody referenced my name, and so I answered the question, and my response got a lot of likes. And so this tells me that this is a problem. And actually, this is a real problem because I face it every day. Everyone, every manager, every hiring manager, every recruiter, every designer, we're all confused on all these millions of titles out there. Interaction designer, UX designer, researcher, product designer, UI, UX designer, so forth, right? We are so confused. The industry is all confused. And for good reason. Somebody keeps coming up with all these different titles. I don't know, I don't make them up, but someone does, and it starts to confuse us all. I don't know who made the term product designer, but somebody started calling us product designers, and now that's the new buzzword. And so we have to fall in line. I don't care what the title is, the job duties remain the same. This is coming from somebody that has 18 years experience in the industry. I work with every professional under the sun when it comes to UI, UX design, okay? I work with all of them. Every single one. And over the several years, I've been asking myself this: what the heck is this person? What the heck is this person? Who am I? And so forth, right? And so I'm gonna clarify it all for you. The product designer term is the new buzzword, okay? Somebody came out with this few years back, and now we're starting to be called product designers, okay? It's almost like when Steve Jobs came out with flat UI design. Either you had to adapt the trend or you didn't, right? We don't know why he came up with flat design or who came up with flat design, but the industry had to adapt to flat UI design from the previous sort of aesthetics and designs we were using, okay? That's where product design is coming. We have to adapt to this new term. But let me explain to you the difference between them. And I've done so in other videos, but I want to clarify some things. The more I talk about it, the more people will understand. There are, and this is from my experience, 18 years experience working with every single professional under the sun. There's only two disciplines under the UX umbrella, okay? So at the top, if you're a UX director, you're just a UX director. You manage a team of UX designers and UX researchers, okay? Now, or I should say a team of designers and researchers, okay? There's only two disciplines. The designer bucket, okay, which is where I fall in. That designer bucket has probably 10 different titles, 10 different labels of this person doing the same thing. And this person is responsible for the same thing. The latest trending buzzword at the top of this list is product designer. And why this is confusing, because the term product designer has been around for decades. It's the title for industrial designers. Designers that can actually design cars and toasters and phones and things like that. These are industrial designers. They actually design products, like real physical products that we use, bicycles and everything. These guys and girls are called product designers as well. They're industrial designers, right? Anyway, somebody came up, started calling us, folks who do design work, UI design, they started calling us product designers. Fine, I like the term, it sounds good. We design products, we design apps and stuff, right? So at the top of the list, the first buzzword is product designer. On that list, you have UI designer, you have UX designer, you have UI, UX designer, you have interaction designer, you have graphic designer can be one at the very bottom, right? In terms of somebody that falls in line with these duties, and so forth, right? Okay, what the specific title is, it doesn't matter. It's almost irrelevant. Your duty is a designer under this UX umbrella. And what do? Your job is you're responsible for the design of the products, of the apps, of the website. Okay, so you actually do the physical design work. You actually open up Sketch, you open up Adobe XD, you open up Figma, you open up Photoshop, and you actually do the mock-ups and you deliver those to development. Now, the process in which you do this, you do a lot of, you go through what's called, you utilize UX methods and principles. Okay, so as I'm designing, I'm using critical thinking, I'm problem solving, I'm understanding what the user wants, I'm working with the UX researcher, which is the other side, which is the other discipline. Okay, I'm getting feedback, I'm understanding what the user actually wants, and through all that process, I'm designing, I'm making great assumptions, and I'm putting forth mock-ups based on what I think the user needs, and we then verify those through testing and so forth, and we deliver those and we hand those off to development, and they code that stuff and they put it out there and repeat the process. We learn and we repeat, and we make the user experience better as we go. That is what a product designer does, okay? Now, I just kind of summarized it all, but there you can get fine detailed into some of the different variations of what we do, okay? The other discipline, remember there's only two. You got the designer side and you have the UX researcher side, okay? The UX researcher also falls under the UX umbrella. This person is the one that does all the upfront research. They do all the guerrilla marketing, or not guerrilla marketing, they all field studies. They go and visit clients. They learn what clients want. They call clients. They get on the phone and they conduct surveys from clients. They work in the tool called UserZoom. They do, you know, they conduct usability studies through WebEx demos and things like that, right? And we, as product designers, we work with UX researchers, right? So when they conduct the usability study, we're observing that information and finding out what clients want. And actually, as we're listening to these usability studies throughout the week, we're actually modifying our products. We're modifying our designs. But the UX researcher is the person that will do all this stuff. They will present summaries to the team to make sure that their job is to conduct the research and make sure that we are designing the right stuff for the end user, okay? That's it. So that's it. Two different titles, or two different disciplines. Many titles on the designer side. Really, there's only one title on the UX researcher side. I believe there's a couple of titles on the UX researcher side, which they all do the same thing. Like the UX researcher used to be called IA. I think it's information architecture. That was like an old title before. Now they just call themselves UX researchers. Okay. Now I work with them, and I work with every single designer, and even my designer colleagues, friends, they call themselves something different on LinkedIn. They call themselves UX designer, UI designer, UI, UX designer, product designer. I actually have to educate my team and go, hey guys, we're product designers. We're a product design team. And they're like, nice, I like the title, cool, right? The UX researcher, I've worked with them as well. UX researchers tend to have, a lot of them tend to have master degrees in human-computer interaction, and they study, you know, psychology or so forth, and you can go up and get your PhD in UX research. You're really trying to learn the psyche behind how users interact with systems and things like that. So that's the UX research side, right? You don't, you know, so that's that side. You got this side. Two different disciplines, many different titles, and that's essentially what the difference is between the two. Okay, so don't worry about whether or not you see the term UI designer, UX designer, interaction designer. It's all the same duties. You have to understand how to design. You have to have good visual UI design skills. You have to understand UX methods and principles. You have to understand product design. You have to know how to work with UX researchers and the benefits and the value of working with UX researchers to find out that information so that you can put forth the best assumptions and put forth the best product designs possible. And then you can test those product designs to make sure that your assumptions are accurate or not, and you can modify those accordingly. So that's essentially the difference between the two. All right, so somebody will come up with a new title in about 3 years, and you can add that to the list. But at the end of the day, The duties do not change. I've been in this industry for 18 years, trust me. The duties are the same. If you want to learn product design, that's what I do. Actually, I teach it at my site, ML UX Academy. So, having said that, if you're interested in learning product UI UX design, you want to understand the product UI UX design methods and principles, the process, how to design, how to improve your visual UI design aesthetics to create products, visit my site. Click on the link. You can learn all about it. You can actually get started for free and start learning today. All right, so that's my spiel, and hopefully you learned something from this. It was informative and clarifies all the different variations of titles and things that are out there, right? Lastly, recruiters will be confused, and they should be confused. Hiring managers will be confused, and they should be confused. Other designers will be confused, and they should be confused, because everyone keeps coming up with these different terms and terminologies and have their different definitions. But at the end of the day, there's only two sets of duties: the designer and the UX researcher. All right, those are the duties, and some of those duties do kind of overlap, right? I can conduct some surveys if I want to as a designer. UX researcher can actually perform some wireframes and do some design work here and there. But essentially, those are the two differences. All right, hopefully this was helpful. Hit me up in the comments below. If you like the things that I talk about, hit the like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, click on the little bell to get notifications like this in your inbox. And as always, have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.